Chels, congrats, 50 games.
Thanks.
What does that milestone mean to you?
Yeah, thanks. Well, yeah, it's taken 8 seasons to get to 50 games, and a bit unique, I guess, in AFLW because we only play a certain amount of games. So for players to hit 50, it's, I guess, essentially it feels like kind of in a men's competition, it'd feel like maybe 100 or something like that. So for us, yeah, it's been 8 seasons. Had an ACL in that time. Couple of concussions and some hammy issues, so missed a few little games through there, but it's nice to finally be able to play, I guess, 50, but just love being able to, every single game that you get the chance to play footy. It's awesome.
How do you reflect on, you've got premierships in there, like you said, there are injuries, some serious, some not so serious. How do you reflect on how far you've come? Yeah,
it's been quite the journey when you think about it, like from being an 11-year-old girl to playing boys footy into an open women's competition, having, I guess, nothing really to strive for in terms of an AFLW competition. And I was actually living out in the desert in the Pilbara when Adelaide Football Club, David Noble at the time, had flown up to come and see me out in my small town community that I was working out there in Newman. And he'd heard about me, I think, through Narelle Smith, and I've heard a thank because we'd met through the Melbourne exhibition games that I'd been playing in. Wasn't playing a lot of footy during that time when I was living in the Pilbara, and I guess he saw the work that I was doing in the community, and they took a chance on me here at Adelaide, and I feel very blessed to end up here, and honestly thought I was only probably going to be here for 6 months and then return home to WA or something, but I've just loved it so very much here in Adelaide, and yeah, it's obviously been 8 seasons here, and best footy club ever.
I know it's probably hard to think back on all those early conversations. Did you ever imagine that you'd get to 50 games in a semi-professional league and a bunch of other players getting to 50 games too? Like how far the game's come in these 8 seasons now?
Yeah, the game's come so far, hasn't it, in this 8 seasons. I mean, it's gotten faster, it's gotten more skillful, and the girls that we're recruiting and drafting now, they've been playing, since the age of maybe 5, and they've had a footy in their hands for that period of time, which is awesome. I remember in our very first year in 2017, we had girls from cross-coders from different sports. Some had only played like maybe 5 or 6 games of footy, and then they were, so skillful in their own sport. To come across and then play AFLW, it's awesome. So just to have girls playing get the game for such a long period of time of their childhood, and they're coming in so skillful, which is awesome. But yeah, you still pinch yourself because when I was that little girl, you didn't realise it was possible to play at the elite level and play for an AFL club. So it truly is, something I feel very blessed to be able to be standing here even today and be able to share this story with you.
How's the mentality shift that you've seen from girls that are being drafted now? They sort of approach it a bit differently, do you think, than when you started?
I think knowing when I was a 18-year-old girl, you didn't really have much to aspire for in terms of pushing yourself and challenging yourself to be the best you possibly could be, because it was just local footy for us, and you played it because you loved it. It was fun. You had your friends there, and they were kind of your reasons. So when girls are watching it on TV and they're like, wow, that could be me, and they've got these talent pathways now that they can go in, and they've got a draft selection. They're really challenging themselves and making healthier choices, around their diets and their strength and conditioning programs. They've got really good resources around them now to help them, I guess, achieve that goal.
Looking ahead then, how many more years do you reckon you've got left in the tank?
Fingers crossed we'll keep this body going. But yeah, for now I'm just enjoying the ride and see how long we can go, I guess. Yeah.
You've been co-captain or either sole skipper throughout your entire time with the Crows. How do you think your leadership style has changed in that time?
Yeah, it's changed each season. I think you have to adapt with the players that you get as well, because the players seem to be getting younger, and I'm definitely getting older. But yeah, it's an interesting journey because in the very first years, as a captain, or when I was co-captain with Erin, we had great support. We were like yin and yang through that time. And I guess for me personally, you don't ask for that role. The players, it's very humbling, but they pick you to be their captain. And for me, it was, I guess, very much a learning curve, and you just kind of learn on the go. But and I guess I've come from a space of just that care and empathy and relationships, and then obviously learning a little bit more about just setting the standard in terms of what happens on and off the field as well for others. And now it's kind of got to the stage where we're just making sure that we're delegating and empowering others to be, strong leaders of this footy club, because you're not going to be around forever. So you need to make sure that the place is in a better space than when you started.
You're still early, pretty much footy-wise, aren't you, though, Chelsea? Like, you're only early 30s, aren't you? So you
32.
Do you consider what the future looks like, and how long, realistically, because it was a later start for you, can you keep playing for, do you think?
Yeah, I honestly don't know the answer to that question. And I hope it's for a few more years, a few more seasons. We just have to wait and see. I remember, a player saying to me once, "You just never know when your last game is." And some people have, touch wood, but some people have had bad injuries that take them out. But for me, I love this footy club. I love the footy that our girls are playing, and I'm just excited to be a part of it and continue the journey. So for as long as my body will let me, I'll continue on.
What do you reckon you've learnt from being in the men's program? I know when you first started, you said it's just good to be around the footies a bit more and you stay involved. What have you learnt in that sort of 12-month period?
I've learnt heaps, to be honest, and I've learnt lots about coaching and just, I guess to Mickey Godden and Maddie Nix and all the coaches that I work with, those guys are incredible, and the time that our coaches put in to help our players is significant. But just in terms of the game itself and really going into the detail, when you have 6 or 7 hours a day to go into vision with a fine tooth, there's so much in it. Footy is such a simple game, but there are some really small things that you can kind of, I guess, look into. And in terms of the forward line, that's majority what the space I've been in with our Sandful side, with James Riley and Maddie Wright, working with those guys really closely. So hopefully some of that stuff I'm able to apply. I feel very blessed that I'm able to apply that as a player as well. Most people, when they finish their career, they go into coaching and they say, gee whiz, I wish I knew what I knew as a player. So I feel blessed to be able to wear both hats.
What have you taken from the men's in your learnings there and implemented into the women's side this year so far?
I think honestly just being able to see the game a lot faster, watching it unfold, work out and problem solve what's actually happening, and be able to try to fix it as a player out on the field, and then even just come to the bench and with Maddie Clark, our head coach, on the sidelines, it's easy to just kind of come up to him and be able to really talk specific details around what is unfolding and how we can fix it. So just those kind of things, I think you're able to just see it a lot more clearer than I'd ever seen before. So.
And as a captain of the club and involved in that program, must be a thrill, or it must be great to see Matt Crouch sign on. I mean, there's so much talk about Matt. He's a great guy and good reward as a skipper. He must be pleased. Yeah, great reward for him and his family. He's brilliant on and off the field. I can't speak more highly of him and the way he goes about it. I'm stoked for him, really happy for him. And the showdown, what did that showdown win mean for you? Yeah, it's great. I mean, the town rivalry is showdown, and SA gets around it. We had so many people there at the game. It was a packed out stadium pretty much at Norwood Oval, so great to have all the fans there, and to get the W just, I guess, gives our girls a good start to the season. And we've got round 2 with Richmond this weekend, and looking forward to getting over there and playing some more footy. What did you learn from the showdown? Because it was almost like a game of two halves, really. It was so competitive in the first half, and you guys blew away in the second. Yeah, look, they're a quality side, and they've got some great talent in their side, and really challenged us. At half time, obviously we were down, and the girls, to our credit, were a bit fumbly, and I felt like our pressure could probably go to another level. So just our ball take, sometimes that happens with your first game back after 10 months of not playing footy sometimes. So the girls were really excited and a bit probably nervous. So nice to kind of just, let go of the nerves and just finally get into our groove and apply our offence a little bit more. So, it was a great result for the girls.